Hi everyone, so today's video is going to be an update on my Pan That palette for 2018, and this will be my 5th update, I do believe. And if you do not know, I chose to pan the Lorac Beauty and the Beast Tale as Old as Time palette. This palette wasn't very old when I decided to pan it, and it wasn't very used. But I decided that I wanted to get some use out of it. I had heard that Lorac shadows were relatively easy to pan. This is the first Pan That palette I've ever done. I use this palette every weekday that I wear makeup. And whenever I travel, I always bring this. And then on the weekends, I kind of give myself a free-for-all. But I will show you where I was last time. And I know that's really zoomed in. I'm not very good at editing if you didn't know, but that's the best I can do. And this is where I am today. So I have gotten use out of the 3 shadows that I already had pan in. And if you cannot tell, right there is pan in that first shade, Dream It. So I'll go over how I use these. It's pretty much the same, but just in case this is your first time using this or seeing this update or whatnot. Dream It I use as an inner corner highlight, so I do have pan on that. I will continue using it as an inner corner highlight. Timekeeper I used a few times as a lid shade. I do kind of like it as like an outer V, but it's a little, I don't know, it's like not almost quite dark enough. Our Guest I use as a like a crease shade. Then we have Impress. Again, I like it as the outer V. I did use this all over. Well, no, I used this one. My bad. Then I use Beast Mode. I used it today as my outer V, and I used the shade, what was that? Enchanted as my lid. I try to use the ones I have pan on the day of my I filmed, just because I think it's kind of a fun way, and I have gotten use out of this. I used this Enchanted shade with my sister too. I did her makeup a couple times while we were together. Then I have this shade Swept Up, and I don't know if you'll be able to tell, but there is a pretty significant dip in it, and I think that I might even have pan in that next time. I use it as a liner. I have it on my liner today. I like a powder liner. I've discovered that. I like it even better than like a pencil. Then we have the shade Look Beyond, not Timekeeper, my bad. This one I use as a crease shade. It's got a little bit of a dent. These matte shades are really hard to pan. I use them quite frequently, more often than other ones. But again, it's not showing a ton of progress. My Castle I've used a few times. I actually used it all over the lid and I didn't hate that. But again, it's kind of like Timekeeper, where it's really shimmery, but it's not quite dark enough for an outer V. Then we have the shade Chip In as my matte brow bone highlight. I use that every day. You can see that it does have a lot of use, and not only like a big pan, but the surrounding pan is kind of shallow. I do for sure think that'll be my first one used up. Then we have the shade Romance, and I did use that actually all over my lid one day because I was kind of playing with it when I went to New Orleans, and I do like it. It's really pretty. Then we have the shade Spellbreaker. Again, I use that as a lid shade. As a liner. It doesn't have as much use as Swept Up, but it does have some. True Beauty I use every single day as a transition, and it's got barely any use. I do have some nice use in this shade Tea Time. I've used that as a lid shade. If I really just want like a simple, easy look, I'll use that all over my lid, and it's nice. It's not quite as light as Dream It, so I do like it, and it's got some use. TikTok, again, I use that as a crease shade. As a crease. I really like it. It's got a dent, but not a ton of use. I did use Look Beyond, or that's not the right shade. Sorry, Real You, quite a few times. I hate this. I don't hate it. That's my least favorite shade. It's like a matte with a lot of glitter. Hopefully you can see that there's a dip. So again, a lot of dips. I've gotten some use. I have a new pan, which I'm excited about. I have pan in 4 out of the 16 shadows. I don't have anything empty yet. I'm hoping to have pan in Swept Up next time. I don't know if I'll have pan in anything else. I don't know. I feel like I use this all the time. I use it way more than I've ever used another eyeshadow palette. I use it pretty much every single day. And I use all of my shades from here. Occasionally, like today, my crease shade is the shade C Note. Let me just show y'all. From the Urban Decay Vice 4, I use the shade C Note. because it is my weekly product pan, even though it's been like a couple of weeks, but you know, that's how it happens sometimes. But I did have that in my crease today. So I do occasionally pull from other shades, but pretty much I use this eyeshadow palette. Oh, that's upside down. I know it's metallic, so it's kind of hard to see. But I use this eyeshadow palette exclusively. I'm working really hard on it. I'd love to see some more pan next month. I'm thinking Swept Up, I might have pan in. And yeah, we'll just see what happens. I'll definitely get more use out of the shades I already have pan. I'd like to have Chip In used up within like 2 months, maybe? I don't know, though. I don't know how realistic that is. So we'll just keep going. I will keep panning this, and at the end of the year, if it's... I said at the beginning of this project, my goal was never to finish this necessarily in a year. I thought that'd be really cool, but I didn't know how realistic that is. Apparently not very realistic. It's almost halfway through the year, and I only have 4 pans and no completely empty ones. But at 2019, at the beginning of 2019, I will be adding another eyeshadow palette. I'm kind of playing with a couple of different ones. I want something colorful. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed this update. As always, please leave any questions, requests, suggestions, comments down below. I love hearing from you, and I'll just talk to you all real soon. Bye.